There's a moment every year when the air changes. It's not warmer, it's not brighter, it's just different. You step outside and something stops you, not visually or consciously. You pause, maybe without even realizing it, and then you take a breath. And in that breath, something clicks. And then almost without thinking, you breathe again. And this time, you recognize something. It's the smell of spring. It's immediate, instinctive, recognizable. There is no analysis. You don't question it, you just know reflexively. But what's happening here? There is no single smell of spring, no spring molecule, no single chemical signature. So what you're actually smelling is a chaotic shifting mixture of wet soil releasing compounds after months of cold, plants producing volatile molecules as they grow, microbes waking up and changing the chemistry of the ground. Thousands of molecules drifting in constantly changing combination with moisture, airflow, and temperature all changing how these odor molecules move. Spring isn't just one smell, it's thousands. And yet, your brain compresses all of that information into one experience, into one word: spring. But how? How does your brain take thousands of invisible signals and turn them into something so familiar, so emotional, and so immediate? How does chemistry become meaning? Why does spring smell like spring? The solution to our mystery isn't just what we're smelling. It's not just the stimuli floating in the air. It's how your brain interprets those thousands of signals into something singular and meaningful. That is, the answer isn't just in the air. It's not just out there waiting and forcing us to respond to it. It's how our brains interact with the spring air and the memories and emotions that are evoked from experience. In today's SenseMaking, we're going to explore the mystery of the smell of spring in 3 layers. First, we'll try to understand odors, the signal that we receive. An important component to the smell of spring is the fleeting nature of smells. Yes, these mercurial molecules can be manipulated, controlled, and studied. We'll look at the work of Joel Mainland's lab, who have developed a new odor delivery system for testing human smell. The Mainland lab is trying to control and standardize odor stimuli for testing in research. Second, odors and the brain. The brain is the processor of the signal, and our brain is constantly building meaning from invisible chemical signals in the air. When we smell something, the meaning of the smell of spring is built from our memories and emotions evoked in the brain as a response to the spring air. We'll hear from Dr. Kevin Boulding, who started his career here at Monell, and he studies odor memories, hoping to map in the brain the experience of detecting a novel odor, which is the very building block for an odor memory. Finally, after we've looked at the signal, after we've looked at the processor, we'll look at the response. Smell doesn't just tell you what's there, it shapes how you feel about it. There's a strong connection between smells, emotions, and mental health, such that our mental state benefits from the good mood provided by pleasant odors, like the kind you find in spring air. Doctors Valentina Parma and Pamela Dalton are quoted in a recent Time magazine article titled, "Why You Should Stop and Smell a Flower for Just 30 Seconds." The article talks about the influence of smell on our emotions and memories. Doctors Parma and Dalton provide the real-world impact of the basic science done by researchers like Drs. Mainland and Boulding. Together, these 3 layers turn chemistry into understanding. And that's why spring doesn't just have a smell, it is a sensory experience.
I actually do a lot of gardening in the spring, and when I start digging in the earth, it's not necessarily the smell of the flowers that makes me feel like it's spring. It's all those organic materials that are in the dirt that I haven't smelled since last September when I put the garden to bed. That brings back, okay, it's time for revival, regeneration, renewal. And it's very, very, very powerful, much more so than even the smell of the plants that I'm putting in.
So go back to that moment. You step outside, the air feels different. You take a breath, and you recognize it instantly. It's spring. But now, maybe that moment looks different because you understand what's behind it. We asked a simple question. Why does spring smell like spring? Now we can answer it. Spring smells like spring because of three connected systems. There's the stimulus. In the spring, we get a new palette of odor molecules, and the warm air and changes in humidity make odors more available to our noses for detection. There's the processor, which is our brain. Our brain's constantly translating invisible chemical signals into meaning. Not just detecting molecules, but organizing them into recognizable patterns. That's why a complex mixture becomes a single idea. Spring. And then finally, there's the response. Smell is directly connected to emotions and memory. Not metaphorically, biologically. Smells shape behavior and mood. So, why does spring smell like spring? Thousands of molecules are interacting with our sensory system. We have a brain that has spent years learning patterns and building meaning. And we have emotional and memory systems shaping perceptions in real time. All of this is happening in an instant. All of it's invisible. And all of it is essential to how you experience the world. So when you smell spring, you're smelling your brain sense-making in real time.